Yo, welcome to the Talk Movies podcast. I'm Cam,
I'm Luke.
and my voice is very hoarse, so bear with me this episode. I think I'm somewhat sick, not really, but yeah, we're back, and we're so much better, right?
Episode 3.
Second movie. So this week we're talking about, due to my lack of planning and Luke's a great ability to just, go with the flow, and just, there's a word for that.
Adapt, I guess.
Adapt. Great word to adapt. We're talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Wimps, man. They're the future. They're necessities. Yeah, we're talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And who are we to be Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie reviewers if we don't have the freaking book with us? Bring it out, Luke. Right there.
Ta-da.
Boom. Zooey mama. Boy. Clearly I'm in a good mood right now. I don't know why.
It's just the vibe that we get.
Vibe, man.
When we are in this recording booth, we are in our own space, our own bubble. All our problems, they dissolve.
They really do.
And we get to sit here and talk about movies that we enjoy so much.
We get to yap. And I can't yap as much as I want to because my voice sucks right now.
It's cracking a little bit,
It's
too.
cracking. You heard that. I was hoping you didn't say anything. But anyway, let's get on it, man. Movie stars. Zachary Gordon, the one and only. Greg Heffley. Robert Kaplan. Riley Jefferson. Devin Bostick. Roderick Heffley. Also in Oppenheimer. Who would have thought? I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
No, because it's funny, because, like, the roles that I've seen him in were just that, Roderick Rules Dog Days, and then Oppenheimer, and I was like, why is Roderick just randomly here?
And Christopher Nolan, he said Roderick Rules. When you remember it, I don't know if you remember, but there was a press conference or something. Like, what made you choose Devin Bostick? He asked him something like, have you seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Like, yeah, man, Roderick Rules.
And also, there's an actor from Diary of a Wimpy Kid who I grew up watching.
Roderick Rules. Man.
Yes, Roger Rules.
Freaking love that guy. Chloe Grace Moretz. I don't know if it's Chloe or Chloe, but she plays Angie. I love Chloe Grace Moretz. And Steve Zahn is Frank Heffley as the dad, and Rachel Harris as Susan Heffley. Now, personally, loved the books growing up, man. I think I had all of them. I think I read all of them up until number 8. I think whichever one was the green book with the A ball on them. Shout out to my mom too. I think she bought all of them. I'm pretty sure my mom bought all those books. But shout out to her. Great books. And it's a great way to get kids reading. I wonder if kids still read that today. You know what? Kids don't read that today because kids can barely even read today, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because they're on TikTok all day.
Yeah, I used to, whenever I was in elementary school, I had the same through, whether it was from one of the teachers just having it in, like, the little shelf corner that they would have with the books on it, or if the school's library, as you got into middle school, had it. And I kept buying them and collecting them, and then now I only have the original first one, because I think when I was just younger, we sold them at, like, a garage sale or something.
Get that bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I have any of them. Couldn't tell you where they went.
They're still being made, though. Jeff Kinney is still on roll.
You know what? And my boy, he was talking about, like, yeah, man, I don't know why he's still coming out with those. If I'm making books and people are still reading, who am I to stop? Who am I to stop these kids from learning about the life of Gregory Heffley? And he still might be. You think he's still in grade school?
See, that kind of leads me into one of my complaints with this movie. Is throughout the books, it's kind of like notorious in his whole shtick that Greg Heffley is not a good person, and that he does not change very much throughout the books. Like, in every book, in every book, he's still kind of a dick, mostly, right?
You're gonna call a 12-year-old a dick?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you are, I'm gonna sugarcoat it. Okay. But so, right, he's not, like, a great friend, and that's kind of one of the big moments in the movie where Rowley kind of recognizes that he's not a good friend, and he's kind of yelling at him. He's like, I broke my arm, and you didn't even seem to care. And Greg's immediate reaction was, that broke arm is the best thing that's ever happened to you.
And it got him the girl. No,
but then that kind of like, in the books, as long as they keep going and how often he stays in the same grade, assuming he's not just been held back this entire time,
right.
he does not change very much, if at all. And I will endlessly praise these movies, whether it's the first one, Roderick Rules, or Dog Days, and the trilogy here with the Zachary Gordon ones.
Okay.
If they keep making him change as a character, like the ending of the first one, right? Whenever they get class clown or whatever in the yearbook page,
Yeah.
Greg Heffley and Rowley are in the same photo, but in the book version, at the ending, he like throws that yearbook away. And so the movie, the first one at least, shows that, you know, he's learned from his mistakes. He's become a better friend. He's proven it to Rowley. Rowley accepts that. And then that's kind of how you get that friendship that Roderick Rules and Dog Days keep continuing with.
Yeah. It's, I think it's hard to talk about the progression of a 12-year-old, but I get it from a movie standpoint. Like, dude, there's no like character development with him.
Yeah.
But then again, he is only 12 and he has a big brother. And then, I don't know. I do understand you, though. Yeah, I don't really have, I don't know. I don't have much of a harsh opinion on it because it's targeted towards little kids and they don't care about it. Like, I'm not going to talk about like the cinematography or whatever. Like,
I could comment on
you're lying. We are movie. Okay, we're movie reviewers. So,
Right.
okay.
So
You got it.
Right. So this, obviously, kids movie, targeted towards kids. That is the audience that this is for. But it's still shot well, and it's not done with a poor quality to where it's like, oh, it's a kids movie. They don't need all this great quality. They don't deserve whatever, you know. Minecraft movie is a failure in that regard. But
Did you bring that up to me or somebody else? We talked about that.
it's probably be me because I'm very unhappy with it.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
I get people are very upset about it.
Yeah.
I don't watch her.
But anyway, like my point with bringing that up is that that movie does not look that good, in my opinion. But these movies do. And both are still kids' movies. That's the target audience. But kids still deserve good movies. I don't care
For sure.
what age you are. You could be 170 or you could be like 12. And you still deserve a good movie, good show, good production. And this movie has all of that, from the cast, the costume designs, but mostly the cast in my mind, because when I look at the book and I read and I see how the characters are written and depicted, these actors feel like they were handpicked specifically for those roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Rowley and then look at Rowley in the book, if I can find a photo of him, and it's like just the same guy.
Yeah.
There's not even...
I think that's like the best thing about the movie, kind of from like a critical standpoint. Just the resemblance of characters, and they all fit so well, especially you got it.
Yeah. That is Rowley. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe we can zoom in or something and post. But
Yeah.
that is him. And then if you look at the photo of the kid who plays him, it feels like it's just straight off the page and colored with like colored pencils or something. It's just good.
And yeah, that's all. That goes for all the characters. Even to like the little ones, like Fragley,
Yeah.
cheese touch kid, man.
You want to see my secret freckle?
Dude, you guys were so lucky to hear that, like at full bass in your ears. That's like, it's gonna give me nightmares. Right there, man. Like, I don't know, dude, like the casting is very good.
Yeah.
The mom, Susan, she's great. She's weird. But as all teenage moms, well, nah, just like, you know, for movies and stuff like that, they always got like some weird stuff going on. Steve Zahn for the dad. You know, he didn't get a lot of screen time, but nonetheless, he still fit it nonetheless. And I think his goofiness with the character, that really plays well amongst other people. And of course, you got Devin. I didn't know he was a heartthrob back then. Like, I brought this movie up recently, and girls were like, oh man, when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, like, man, I used to have the biggest crush on Roderick. Like, where? I thought it was like Justin Bieber and stuff like that. And like, nah.
It's the edgy guys.
You know what I mean? It's the one with like the black fingernail polish.
Like the goth vibe.
Yeah. Freaking white van with loaded diaper on it.
I mean, he's got a steady source of income, so their financial futures are set up. Maybe that's part of
Well,
it.
that's probably what it is. But I didn't know that caught me way off. Oh my God, Roger was so high back in the day. I'm like, I guess whatever. I mean, like I was around.
I think I have one complaint with the acting. Well, maybe not the acting, but the cast at least.
Talk to me.
I don't think Angie needed to be there. Because in the book, Angie is not a character that's present. She's made solely for this film and serves as like a source of reason for the characters because she's older than them, she's more experienced, she knows what she's talking about, and they're in middle school, right? I think she's in high school. And
Yeah. She might be like in 8th grade. No, she's in 8th grade because she was just
8th grade.
something like that.
Yeah.
Junior high.
Okay, so older kid, regardless, right? And so while these two kids are kind of freaking out or whatever, doing stuff, she's like that voice of reason to help kind of walk them through that experience a little bit. And what's nice about that is she is a reliable source for that. And Greg does the same thing, but he's not as reliable because the whole first movie makes a point that he's not a good friend. And so that then kind of leads back in what I said earlier about the relationship him and Rowley have and such. But it makes sense for her to be there for that reason. But from a book to movie adaptation, she's just kind of an added character that those scenes kind of just add more runtime.
I can agree with you on that. She didn't have much of a part in it. I remember being a kid and like wanting to see her more because she was like one of my favorites growing up. And she didn't really come around until like the end with the whole fighting part with the older kids on the buses. And then she had like another minor part earlier in the film. I forget her introduction, but I do know that she did not have a major part. It didn't distract me though. It
didn't distract me either. Yeah.
You know,
the pacing throughout the film, regardless of the scene, is kept up pretty well.
especially, yeah, it has to be. It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
You can't hold the kids' attention for like,
Right.
it's $1.90.
Especially not anymore. They're scrolling TikTok.
Man, you should.
And I'm not really one to talk about that. I will stay up till like 4 a.m. on Instagram Reels for no good reason. So I can't complain too much about it, but we've all got short attention spans.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something off topic. Do you like when you watch the movie, are you just watching it on your phone or like?
No, I'm locked in.
Okay.
If my girlfriend is watching this, she will tell you that I get on her case every time we watch a movie, that if she whips out her phone to text her mom or anything, I don't care. Put the phone away.
Facts.
You're watching a movie.
Facts.
Lock in.
Especially if I'm putting the girl on to the movie and like I know it's good prior.
Yeah.
Like to put the phone. I'm telling you ahead of time. You're watching this movie. Say every text you need to now. Nothing else is coming through. Put it on D&D. Watching. Yeah, dude.
Follow-up question. If they've seen the movie already, are you still getting on their case if they get on the phone?
So who?
Like whoever it is, whoever you're watching, like if you make them watch a movie and they're like, oh, I've seen that already, and then they get on their phone for something, are you still getting on their case about it?
Well, how do I really enjoy the movie?
Sure.
I really enjoy the movie. She's seen the movie, but she's seen the movie already, but I still want to show it to her.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. Oh, for sure. Stay off the phone.
See, for me, I don't care if I like the movie or, well, if I dislike it enough, I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
But if it's like a decent movie anyways, and they've already seen it and they still get on their phone, I'm getting on your case about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Yeah, unless we're putting a movie on just for background noise, just like we're chilling or whatever, you just want like some in the background, that's cool, whatever.
yeah.
But if we are explicitly watching this movie, regardless if you've seen it or not, bro, no phones.
Yeah. And I get on my dad's case about it too. Whenever we wasted like $20 for two of us to watch Morbius on a Tuesday, we were the only people in that theater, and that movie's not good. Don't watch it. But
We reviewed it. Wow.
But we were the only people in the movie theater, and my dad's in the seat next to me, and he's like on his phone, and I still got in his case about it. Well, it's just us, an empty theater, just us,
In the theater is kind of crazy.
and I still got on his case. Like I know it's I know it's just us, so like it's not as bad as if it was a full room, but still unacceptable.
Especially if I went to a movie theater by myself. I was the only person in that theater. No phones.
No phones.
For what?
No phones.
We're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No phones, man. No phones.
No.
Sorry. You see, we're passionate about this whole movie thing, man. It's an experience. Every film is an experience. I have a story to tell.
Could I enlighten you on something else that I have a story to tell with this?
What's up, Luke?
So throughout this film and tying into the pacing part of it and the cast being ripped right from the page, the movie does rip parts of the page and animates it into the film. So in the book,
Actual.
yeah. So in the book, I don't know if you can see this well, I sure hope so, but there's the text like up here, and then you've got the like images and the drawings and stuff mixed in throughout. What the movie does is occasionally will take the like character drawings and plaster it over the cast like in a scene. So the background's all still real, but then, you know, they've got the paper character versions, and it's animated to help play out the scene, or it's kind of referencing something else, and just kind of a quick, like, you're in a conversation and mentioning, oh, we went and did this, or something like that. It might show that in a scene like that, where it's animated, but in the style of the book. And I really, really like that.
Absolutely.
Love that.
I feel like that's a very captivating thing for a child to watch. Forget it. Not a child, for me to watch. I'm pretty kind of still a child, but still, you know, for anyone to watch, you know. And it's done well too. It's not like, it doesn't look cheap, and it's fluid with the movement. Like, who would have thought, like, you can animate some out of a book into a movie? I mean, obviously you can do anything now with a green screen, but
If only we had ours.
yeah, man, we don't
We don't know what's going on with that.
Jinx.
Oh
my
Wait, hang on. So who owes who a Coke now? If we tied that, do we have to best of 3?
oh my!
Do we want a best of 3 right now?
Why can't we just be friends, man?
What if we be so nice to buy each other Cokes?
Isn't that like share a Coke? Isn't that like
That's probably a thing.
I think that's.
I know it's like it's like Jinx buy me a Coke or something like that.
I didn't say
but
Jinx, but still,
I said Jinx.
you said Jinx. I didn't say Jinx.
So if anything, you should be buying me the Coke is what I think.
But why can't we just be friends, man?
You're always true.
So let's talk about. Let's try lock in for the minute. I think it was a great thing at its time. I love being a child and like having to talk about this with my friends, and especially that cheese touch.
Oh yeah.
You know, in the movie, Riley had it. No, Greg had it. But then they kind of like shared it at the same time towards the end of the movie. But then Greg had like this big old speech in front of everyone. And he's like, it doesn't matter. He's talking to you. I don't know who he thinks he is. Like, you're a puny little kid. You're like 4. And then he's telling him. But yeah, for that to happen, I think, and then to show the kinship between Riley and Greg was really cool, especially because of their whole up and down thing. And we get that iconic scene, which I quote to this day: "Don't come by my house.
Don't call me.
We're done.
It's over."
What? That's great writing. And I know we're
Cinema is what I like to call it.
That's real cinema. Martin Scorsese. That's cinema. Don't come by my house.
Don't call me.
It's over. We're done. We're done. If I was his friend, hurt my feelings, man.
Yeah.
We're done. If you told me, Luke, one day, Cam, we're done.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house.
Never been to his house, but I'm like, shh. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah. I think, I don't know, that incorporation, and I know everything that we're talking about is derivative from the book, so we can't really talk about the creation of everything because it was already written. But still, just to see it play out on the regular movie, and to have that big impact on kids as well, and to do it at a timely manner, because by the time these books were blowing up, these movies were quick to come out, and it wasn't an oversaturation. We technically got 4 of these. No, we technically got 40, but 3 of them are from the original cast. I didn't watch the last one. I've seen Dog Days, Roger Rules, and the original.
Yes, and then there was way after they skipped some of the books in between and then recast everybody for Long Haul.
Is there another movie?
I know Long Haul's the one that has new characters in it. There might be 2 with a new cast, and I watched the. He's pulling it up here.
They got an animation. So they have the 3 with the original cast. That's the Long Haul. Who are these people?
Yes, so
These are the weirdos.
Yeah, so I don't know about weirdos.
Not weird.
Child actors, but and I know you have the thing against child actors for the most part, but I think these guys did a good job.
Which one?
The like cast for this movie.
Oh,
I think those
for
kids
sure.
did a good job.
For sure.
For the long haul, not so much.
Didn't watch it, but I know
Good, don't.
that's not my Greg Heffley. I know that movie.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
And I've yet to watch the Disney Plus versions, and I've heard mixed reviews. Some people said that they're really good. Some people said they're mid or bad.
the animated.
Yeah, like there's a Disney. You have it on your screen there, you can see. But like,
Yeah.
there's the one with Disney Plus that they did an animated version of. At least the first one in Roger Rules. I don't know if they're working on the others or not, or if they're already out. But going off trailers alone, from having not watched it, I like the all animation, but I don't know about giving it the color. So maybe I'd have to watch that on my own and see how good it is. But at least for this movie, I think that it was good still.
You said you give it color.
Like the animation in the Disney Plus ones have the color to it,
Yeah.
which is fine, but then it makes the animation kind of look a little strange because, like, in the book, Greg only has 3 pieces of hair that
Right.
stick out from him. And so in the animated one, he does 2, but that's the only hair that he has. So then it's, like, almost just kind of off-putting, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute.
That's not the
Yeah.
yeah.
But then, you look on the cover, and you're like, hell yeah, that's Greg Heffley.
It's my goat.
It's him. Himothy, some would say.
Gregory, Emery. Echo,
Himothy.
Timothy. I thought those were Timothy.
No, it's Himothy.
Timothy is for Himothy, but what Gregory is Hemery. Hemorrhoid.
I don't know.
My
We need a terminology book or something. Dictionary.
A dictionary. terminology, dictionary. My
It's 8 o'clock. It's not my problem.
my favorite scene is the audition scene
Oh, yeah.
with, oh my gosh, man. One day in high school, I came across that video again. I swear to you, I watched that video for like an hour straight. I won't sing it because I don't have my singing voice right now. But oh my gosh. And then what's the other girl's name? The hater chick.
The hater chick. She on that cast list. I can't think of the character's name.
Patty Farrell.
Oh, Patty. Ugh. Nasty.
Patty Farrell. Another great cast choice.
Right.
Just have that pageant bride energy. She thinks she's better than everyone. And it's gross. And granted, Greg Heffley isn't the best person, but I love their feud because didn't they grow up together and they go to like preschool together or something?
I believe so.
Yeah, so that's deeply rooted. And she's a jerk.
And it makes you kind of sympathize and feel more with Greg. Like, he's got his flaws. He's not a good person. But throughout the movie, you're rooting for him, not just because he's the one that's, like, narrating everything, too, so you're not, like, drawn to think more for him.
Right.
But you see other people that actually kind of get on his case for no reason at times, and sometimes they have good reason to get on his case. But the times that they don't, you're like, man, that sucks. Because, like, whenever you're in middle school and stuff, you're still going through everything, figuring stuff out. You're kind of
right.
new. And middle school is a huge change, like going from grade school to middle school and then middle school to high school and all that. So then you kind of see it and, like, people can say mean things to you and it kind of hurts. So then you sympathize with them more for that.
I forget which book it was, but I know it wasn't the first movie where they had that iconic party scene. And you know what I'm talking about?
Not really. There's a lot of party scenes throughout these books and movies, I feel like, especially in Roger Rules. There's so many.
In that movie, I think it was that movie. I know it wasn't. I know for a fact it wasn't the first one when the parents went away. Well, actually, we don't have to talk about that because I didn't go with this movie. But how do you feel about the overall flow of things? I feel like we moved a lot and it was quick, but I think it was necessary because the movie's so short and because these is intended for children. They can't sit on a dialogue for too long.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Like-
I think that's what's good, like, with the books, too, is that the dialogue isn't, like, really, really heavy.
Okay.
And so it has that visual aspect to help aid it. And the nice part about adapting it into a movie, too, is that the entire movie is there to help aid you along with what's being said. And then they pull the drawings back in and animate that. And so you get that same thing. So it's not overbearing to where it's too much. Yeah, it moves at a nice pace, and everything that you need to know is told.
Right.
And you get it. Like, it's just not a hard film to understand, kind of.
Right. And it never feels too quick.
Yeah.
You think, kids need to be entertained the whole time. But But I don't know. I'm just thinking of like we go through a whole school year. Like we go through that Halloween scene when the kids are when they're being chased. We go through the old cheese touch phase. Go through a school audition, fire patrol, or no, not fire patrol. Safety guard. Dude broke his arm. We go through the winter. Riley has a new best friend, which also I was gonna say something mean about the best friend, but like I don't want to do that.
Those scenes to me are funny because the way that Greg kind of looks at Rowley and his new best friend almost feels like it's out of those romance movies with the love triangle where a guy gets with somebody else and the girl's like staring at him and like, that could have been me. Or something like that. And like, that's just good filming.
You don't know what you have till it's gone. It teaches you a lot more than just, a bunch of preteens being preteens, Like, excuse me, sorry. It's like you said, like the love triangle. Like, man, you see a joint, you see a girl with like a new guy, like, man,
puts you in like a down mood, and then that ties back into what I was saying with sympathizing with the grid. You see that, and you're like, man, that sucks.
Yeah,
but yeah, the comedy in this movie too, man, is some top tier stuff. Like the 2000s and part of the earlier 2010s. The comedy in those movies was just unmatched because there's jokes that are hidden, whether it's explicit or like deep cut, that are geared towards the adults that are there with the kids. And like the wrestling scene to me is one of those jokes where Greg gets up and whatever, and he's like, I'm supposed to beat up a girl or something like that. And Patty goes, you ever hear of Title IX? Like, how is a kid supposed to know what that is? Like, I wouldn't know what that is unless I Googled it. So then there's those jokes that are kind of meant for the parents and the adults in the room, and I think that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I think that's good in anything because it makes you appreciate it. Appreciate it older when you're older, like Victorious and like iCarly and stuff like that, because they have some jokes, very sexual and appropriate jokes. It's probably because Dan Snyder's a freaking weirdo.
Yeah,
but
it's not a good look.
That's a whole different thing. But yeah, just like realize like, oh man, went over my head when I was a kid. Like looking back, I wouldn't go back and rewatch it. Those other shows.
What other thoughts you got about this movie?
I think coming from like as an older, like being older now, I think it's really messed up to have frankly be a victim of bullying. It's I don't know if that like
it didn't make sense. Try and explain this to me.
Encourages bullying in a way. You think? Well, they weren't really bullying. They were just like
like from Greg's perspective,
yeah,
like the main character's doing it, so maybe it's okay, kind of thing.
Yeah. And Greg wasn't like super rude. Like he spent the night at his house. But that's because he was desperate for friends. Because Riley wasn't messing with him right then and there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, to leave somebody else in the middle of the night because like some booger or something. Oh no, he was chasing. He was showing him his that
he's freckled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But I don't know. In a way, I feel like it could kind of promote bullying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like stay away from the weird kids. It might just be distant, but like you can still be like cool. But they're all in middle school, so nobody knows anything. But yeah, that's just my like old head take for a 12-year-old. Even though I'm like 20, I'm not old. Sorry, I just need to clarify. Like,
well, speaking of takes, then what would you rate this movie? We had to get to it.
Say it again. Say it every episode. I got my letterbox, man.
I remember what I wrote down too, even.
Let's see. Diary. I give this movie a 4. It's a 4. It's a great kids film.
Interesting.
Yeah, what you giving it?
I would say
anything less than a 3, you're valid. You're invalid.
This movie would have to try very hard to get less than a 3, I feel like. There's too much good stuff in it.
Facts.
I would say.
Come on, Luke.
I'm going to go with 4.5.
Ooh.
4.5.
Wow.
Because the only real complaints that I think I have with it is just Angie's there to pad the runtime. And outside of that, everything I feel like is really well done. It's not the greatest cinematography of all time or anything, but it's still good enough that I don't think it needed to be anything over the top or it needed to change. It came in, it did the job that it needed to do, did it well, and then you got to go home and have a good time because you already saw the
For
movie.
sure.
Yeah.
And that goes to show, like, you don't need to have like these stupid high budget Oppenheimer type movies to get high ratings. You know, you also don't want to like promote like not all kids movies are like this though. Like this is like once in a lifetime, once in a generation.
Yeah, unfortunately, most studios don't think about that and give you a huge budget, and then you make a quality movie that's not that great.
Let's see. What was the
Borderlands, I'm talking about you.
what was the budget? Oh, 15. That's two different numbers. That's 30 to 15. I don't know.
30 and 15 million are much smaller budgets than you get today.
That is a big budget. Like, I wonder what it went to.
No, like, it's a big budget, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of money.
15 million to make a movie.
But when you think about it in, like, scale of other movies that are constantly being churned out from studios and stuff, whether it's, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe or just other bigger picture stuff, those are a couple $100,000 or million dollar budgets. And to be fair, some of those probably go to the actors that are higher names or something.
Yeah.
Like if you got Willem Dafoe or Emma Stone or something in your movie.
Or freaking Robert Downey Jr. for whichever pro he's in. Doctor Doom.
I have my own thoughts on that. I could make a whole episode just ranting.
I don't even keep up with that, but I know he got like a stupid
It is 95 million.
Yeah,
But I don't know if it's between both the next two Avengers movies or just Doomsday.
I don't know either.
That's a whole different
Yeah,
discussion.
I don't keep up with that stuff. But
That's all me. I'm nerdy like that. If you didn't notice, because I have the entire book with me.
yeah, man, he came in clutch with that book. But, I said 4. Yes, you said 4.5. Any thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think just like this movie, we came in, did what we needed to do, and
Absolutely.
ready to get out of here and talk to our friends about it.
For sure.
Once it releases, we don't talk about these too much early.
This comes out the 13th. So yeah, I think those are all our takes. Hope you had a good time watching it. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. We'll see you next week for 2 News Talk Movies. We're going to be having guests soon in the next week or 2, 3. We're still deciding, seeing when stuff's going to work out. Make sure to be on the lookout on our Instagrams for ratings on stuff. Then we're going to do that next week for next week's episode. If you don't want to follow us on Instagram, just leave in the comments. Should we say what it's between?
For next week's movies, yeah, we can.
All right.
So for next week's movies, there are 2 films that are being released during that week for their anniversaries, and I don't remember how old each of them are. But
Wait, I think one of them is 10. The other one is 30.
that might be it.
Yes, I know one for a fact is 10. The other one,
Yeah.
let me see.
Pull this up and let's see here. Because I can use my... I'm bad at math, so I'm going to use a calculator. No, you got that one. So that's what, 2024 minus 1909?
Look,
Oh, I don't know. It's just being re-released. Anyway, but these 2 films are being re-released in theaters on a couple days. I don't think they're out for a full theatrical runtime. But The Matrix and Whiplash are being re-released for their anniversaries.
so yeah, Matrix or Whiplash. Let us know in the comments which one you prefer to see, and we'll review it. Go on our Instagrams. We'll do the polls there. Make sure to comment, or no, not comment. Make sure to vote. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. This has been fun. We're 4 weeks in. Thursday the 3rd episode. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. I'm Cam,
I'm Luke.
and we'll see ya. Bye.